Actually, I have 24 phrasal verbs for you, but I have grouped them together because the prepositions may change, but not all of the verbs do. So 10 different verbs with 24 different endings makes 24 commonly used phrasal verbs in business English. Hi, my name is Catherine and I am a business English teacher. I work with intermediate to advanced level students, and phrasal verbs is requested a lot. First of all, we have our word of the day, which today is fluctuate. Fluctuate. Now, I picked this word because it can be used as a synonym for changing. And a lot of these phrasal verbs that I am going to go through change depending on their ending. The beginning is the same, the verb is the same, but the preposition that follows changes. So I thought it was only appropriate to have our word of the day be a synonym for changing or to change. At work, you can say, the client fluctuates between two ideas. I am still waiting for a definite response or a definite answer, meaning your client keeps changing their mind. They have two options maybe, and they're going from this option to this option. They can't decide. Or, I want a new job, but I keep fluctuating between a job in tech and a job in sales. Meaning I like both ideas and my mind keeps changing. One day I want to work in tech, one day I want to work in sales. Our first two phrasal verbs today are bring on and bring up. Now, to bring on has a couple of meanings. If we add an it in there, bring it on, it's almost like a challenge that you believe you can succeed in. Bring it on, I can do this. Bring on can mean the result of, or the result will be. So going to bed with wet hair can bring on a cold. The result can be, the effect can be. In the workplace, you may say, he is bringing on a new client, or I will bring someone on for the new project. We need to bring on some more experts in this area. It means to add to bring someone to the project, to the idea. So to recruit more people, to hire more people to help you. Examples may be, the boss is bringing on an expert, or we need to bring on a specialist in this area. I can bring someone on if needed. Bring up. Now, bring up is the same as to mention, or to talk about, or to raise a topic. So past tense brought, he brought up a very good idea in the meeting. She brought up some issues she had been struggling with the new client. I want to bring up in the next meeting overtime payments. Or I want to bring up with the client the outstanding invoices that have yet to be paid. It's to raise something, to mention something. Call on and call off. Now, to call on has two meanings. The first is a physical call on someone. I went to call on my grandmother. I called in on my mum on the way home. It doesn't mean to phone them. It means to pop by, to go and see, to visit them. However, we have another meaning for call on, which is to use someone's expertise or use someone's knowledge in an area. I think I might have to call on someone's knowledge in this area. I am not 100% sure how to move forward. I need to call on a colleague with more experience. It's like to seek out someone with more help, more experience, more knowledge, and require, to want their knowledge or experience to help you in this particular situation. To call off is to cancel, to quit. But typically, the reason we use call off instead of just quit or cancel is because we need to inform people that it's going to be cancelled or not go ahead. So for example, we need to call off next week's meeting because the boss is sick. So we need to inform people that it's not going to go ahead. We planned an event for next month, but I'm going to call it off because we don't have enough participants. Again, meaning you need to inform people. It means the same as cancel, but there is more of an understanding that you need to contact people in order to cancel it. Check in, check out, check off, or check over. There are even more phrasal verbs for the word check, but I just wanted to pick the few that I think you will commonly come across in your workplace. To check in with someone, means to catch up, go over, review. You often see this in emails. We will check in again in a week's time, meaning we will be in contact, we will contact you, and we will see what you're feeling, if you want to go forwards, if there's any development in what we're talking about or what we're discussing, what we're planning. So for example, I might say, here are this week's results. I'll check in again with you next week if you want to continue into the new year to see how they're doing, see what their thought process is. We can also use it in the future tense to mean I am going to review something with someone or discuss something with someone. I will check in with Tom about the latest figures. I will check in with Sarah about overtime. I will check in with the sales team to see how they are getting on. It's to discuss, to review, to find out, give any updates, receive any updates. To check on has a kind of similar meaning. It means to review, to look over, but the difference is check on insinuates or suggests that you are higher, or not higher, that's not really the appropriate word. You have more responsibility than the person you are checking with. So for example, I will check in with Tom suggests we are at the same level and we are working on something together. But I will check on Tom suggests that maybe I am Tom's manager or supervisor and I need to check his work progress, check it's okay, proofread, edit, review. Check on my team, again, suggests I am the team lead. Or it can be used if someone is feeling unwell. Maybe one of your colleagues didn't show up in the morning and they're always on time. And you say, I'm going to check on this person to make sure they are okay. So in that sense, you're caring for them. You're worried about them. But if it's not worry or care you're referring to, it usually means you have a higher responsibility than the person you are checking on. Check out. Now, check out can be used in informal situations and private situations as well. It means to see something new or discover something new. So in a business environment, maybe you work as an estate agent or you have property, or maybe your business is looking for new locations or new offices. And you could say, myself and my colleague will check out the new location on Wednesday. We will check out the new rental property this afternoon. Or maybe you just want to invite your colleagues somewhere to get to know them better, team bonding. You can say, I thought we should all check out the new restaurant after work. There's a new bar that has opened up near our office. We should check it out. It's like to go somewhere new, to investigate. Check off. Check off means you have completed something. So you've written a list, and on your list you have 10 items, and you check off every single item. It's to literally cross off or check. The tick mark is sometimes referred to as a check mark, which is why it's check off. To tick off, to cross out. You've finished it. Today I can check off everything on my list. I've completed everything. Can you check off anything you have completed on our list of projects to do today? And check over is almost like you are the last person before something gets sent off. So a lot of my students will send me their CVs, resumes, cover letters, applications for me to check over. They've written it, they've done the work. They just want me to look through and let them know if there are any spelling mistakes, grammar mistakes. So I am checking over their work. Maybe in the workplace you want to send an email, but you want your boss to check over before you send it to make sure everything is okay. It's asking someone to look through something you have done, you have worked on. They're not doing the work for you. They are just proofreading, editing the work, or the draft or the email to make sure there are no mistakes. Check over. To come up or came up, past tense. Now, there are many meanings for come up, and all of them are quite common in the workplace. So the first one is to think of an idea. He came up with a brilliant idea. He thought of. He created. I have come up with a schedule for next week. Could you check over it for me? There's 2 phrasal verbs in one sentence. Come up can also mean to bring up a topic. So in our quarterly meeting, it came up that we are not meeting our targets. We are not achieving our targets. It came up. A topic was raised. Something came up, was brought up, was mentioned. I think in our presentation today, a lot of interesting questions will come up, will be mentioned, will be discussed, will be brought up. And the final use that I'm going to give you for come up, because otherwise it gets too confusing, is when something unexpected happens. So this month, something has come up, I cannot complete the task. This is actually quite a good one to remember, as sometimes you have personal reasons that you can't complete something or you can't attend a meeting or an interview, but you don't want to give those personal reasons to the interviewer. You can say something has come up, meaning something unexpected has happened. I was on the phone to the client and something came up. They had to run. They had to end the phone call. Something unexpected happened. We didn't complete the phone call. I was supposed to meet the new landlord at 10 a.m., but something came up and he couldn't make it. Something unexpected happened, but we don't know what that thing is. To cut out, cut in, or cut back. To cut out means to not use or to give up something. So in our personal lives, we can say something such as, I am cutting out sugar for a month, meaning I'm giving up. I'm not eating sugar for 1 month. In the workplace, you could say, we need to cut out the middleman. Again, it means to remove something. So remove the middleman, remove this extra step, this extra process that you don't need. I read through your email. Can you cut out the 3rd paragraph? To remove the 3rd paragraph. It's not necessary. We don't need it. Your presentation is perfect, but just cut out the last 2 slides. Remove them. Get rid of them. Now, to cut in is to interrupt somebody, to speak over them in a conversation. I was explaining something when my colleague cut in. It's not a pleasant experience. It's like someone talked over the top of you. But you can use it to apologize as well. So if 2 people are talking, you can say, I'm so sorry to cut in, but I wanted to add. Or, I'm so sorry to cut in, but your 10 a.m. client is here. And last one, to cut back, means to reduce. So similarly to cut out, it means to remove or reduce something, but cut out means remove completely, and cut back means to reduce, shorten, decrease. For example, we need to cut back costs this month means to reduce our costs this month. I really enjoyed your presentation, but could you cut back the amount of time you are talking about future goals? Can you reduce the amount of time? Fill in and fill out. Now, these 2 are quite similar and quite simple, but I have included them because there's a difference between British English and American English here, and I want you to be aware of it. In British English, we would fill in a form, which means to write your name and all of your information in a form or application. In American English, they would fill out a form. Again, means to write, to put your information into a form, an application. However, there is another meaning for fill in, and that is to do someone else's job temporarily. So for example, I won't be here on Friday, but I've asked John to fill in for me, to cover, to take over, to do my jobs for me because I won't be here. It's like asking someone a favor. Or maybe you work on a shift pattern and you can ask someone else, another colleague, Would you mind filling in for me on Wednesday? I will be an hour late. So you're asking them to stay an extra hour so that you can arrive an hour late. Give out and give away. I wonder if you can feel the difference between these two. So if I say, can you give out these leaflets? Or can you give away all of these free iPads? To give out is to hand out, to distribute something to someone. Give out leaflets. On the way to work this morning, someone was giving out vouchers for 50% off a haircut. The shop down the road is giving out leaflets to an event on the weekend. Whereas give away suggests you are giving something that belongs to you or the business for free. So you often see giveaway this weekend. It's like something that belongs to us, we are giving it away. Apple is giving away all its iPads. So the idea is it's for free. Give out is for free and give away is for free. But with giveaway, it belongs to them. Microsoft is doing a giveaway on the weekend. If you enter your email, you can win a free computer. Hold on and hold back. Now, to hold on is either to physically hold on to something or to wait a moment. So your boss may say, hold on sending that email. I want to double check it first. Meaning, don't send it just yet. Wait a second. I want to read it first. Or maybe a client has contacted your business and you say, hold on with responding to them. I want to check their credentials. Meaning you don't 100% trust them and you want to check them out before you agree to go ahead and have them as your client. So hold on is like to wait a moment. Hold back is to stop yourself from doing or saying something. Hold back on that project. I'm not 100% sure we're going to go through with it. So it doesn't mean wait. It means stop doing it. Don't think about it. Don't consider it. We need to review. Or he was really rude in the meeting. I had to hold back what I wanted to say. It's like you're not saying something for some reason. You're not doing something for some reason. So whereas hold on is just wait, hold back is like don't do it. Stop doing it. Pay for, I have included this because it has a few meanings. The first is the most obvious one, to pay for someone, pay the bill or buy them a coffee. So physically transferring money from your bank account to someone else's bank account on behalf of or for someone else. Pay for. But it also means to suffer. So for example, if we do not meet that deadline, we will pay for it next month. We will suffer the consequences of not meeting the deadline next month. If we don't hire an extra person soon, we will start paying for it, meaning we will suffer. All of your colleagues and all of your team will suffer because you have not hired another person quick enough. So pay for, to suffer. You can use it in the past tense as well. I'm really paying for the bad figures we saw last month. Meaning this month we are struggling, we are suffering because of last month's figures. And final one today, to turn around. Now, physically, to turn around means to spin your body around or your head around, turn around, look the other way, look behind you. But you often hear this in the workplace as turnaround time. And turnaround time refers to how quickly you can achieve something. So from the moment you receive it, how quickly can it be done and given back to the person that's expecting it finished. So again, comes in and goes back out. So it's like it's turning around. So a client may ask, what's the turnaround time on this? Meaning, how long will it take you to complete? We should have it turned around by the end of next week. We should have it completed by the end of next week. Or maybe you're facing delays for some reason. So you could say, this will not be turned around as quickly as we expected. Okay, that's all for today. As I said, that's 10 phrasal verbs that are technically 24 phrasal verbs. So I hope some of those were new and helpful for you. If they were, make sure to like this video, maybe share it with a friend. I also just want to say, if you can hear bells in the background, no, there's no one getting married nearby. There is a cow in the garden and it has a bell round its neck. For me, it's quite relaxing, but I'm sorry if that's been irritating throughout the video. I wanted to get this filmed today, so hopefully it's not too distracting for you. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a fantastic week. Goodbye.